Hi, my name is Sanna. If you are new to this channel and if you enjoy the practices, please do help us subscribe, like, comment, share, anything if you do like the practices here. This practice is slightly ballet influenced. I'm a professional ballet dancer myself as well, so I like to add on some ballet inspired stuff once in a while. Just meaning we're gonna focus on the core, glutes and back. A lot of focus on the posterior chain. We're gonna do a couple of bit challenging back bends, but practice is really for anyone, everyone. It's kind of a low flow too. We are not gonna do many standing poses, standing flows. We're gonna stay quite low, just really working turnout, glutes, deep core, back. Really good fun for ballet dancers, but really for anyone. No need for props, just your mat and we can get started. Lie down on your back. Find a Supta Baddha Konasana. So bring the soles of your feet together and let the knees open to the side. Make sure your neck is nice and long. The back of your head is resting on the floor. You can lift your chest up a little to get the shoulders more underneath you. Collarbones wide open. Neck is free. You can bring the hands to your lower belly for a moment. Just allow your knees, your hips open to the side. Don't force it. Let the gravity to do the work. Couple of moments here. Just allow your hips to open. Find your breath. Or find the connection to your breath. Couple of rounds, nice calming breath. And then help with your hands to bring the knees together. Open your feet, hip distance apart. Bring the arms down by your side. Again, make sure the shoulders are nice and open. Back of your shoulders really resting on the floor. And first thing, start to lift your ribs up. Like you really want to arch your ribs up to the ceiling. Press the shoulders down. Press the tailbone down. Really lifting your ribs up. And then slowly melt the back of your ribs down to the floor. Press the lower back down, tuck the tailbone under, and roll through your spine. Lift the hips up to your bridge pose. Again, roll down, vertebra by vertebra, melt the back of your ribs down. To really last your tailbone down. And then again, lift your ribs up, really arch. Like you want to bring your shoulders a little closer to your hips. Really pressing the tailbone down. Again, start to lower, melt your ribs down, hug the ribs in, tailbone under, roll through your spine to lift your hips up to your bridge pose. Really lengthen the front side of your body. Once again, roll through your spine. Last the lower back to tailbone down. Lift your ribs, but keep the neck long. Just bring the shoulders a little closer to your hips. Pressing the tailbone down. And once again, melt the back of your ribs down, hug your ribs in, tailbone under, tailbone up first, roll up. Now stay here. Bring the arms overhead, extending the line, reach your fingers out. And then really bring the shoulders up to your ears. Really bring the shoulders up, hug your ribs in, really lengthen your waist. Keep the waist long when you press the shoulders down, away from your ears, back of your shoulders down, hug your ribs in. Again, lift the shoulders up to your ears, lengthen your waist even more. And then press the shoulders down, back of your shoulders down to the floor, away from your ears. Waist remains long. Again, shoulders up to your ears, really lengthen your waist. And then press the shoulders down, hug your ribs in. And really slowly roll down, vertebra by vertebra. Make sure the knees are always pointing over your second, third toe so we don't start to open the knees. Here, parallel line. One more, roll up to your bridge. And now just really let the back of your hands rest on the floor so you get to keep the shoulders away from your ears. And here, feel like you want to pull your heels closer to your shoulders. You can lower your hips a little and really feel your hamstrings. And then push the heels away from you. Lift your hips up a little higher. Feel your glutes. Now lower your hips just a little. Pull the heels closer to your shoulders. Feel your hamstring activation. And then push the knees away from you. Lengthen your hip flexors. Lift your hips up a little higher all the time. Shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Keep going like this. Activate your hamstrings. Really pull the mat back towards your shoulders with your heels. And then push the heels away from you. Lift your hips up. Lengthen. Get a little deeper into your glutes. One more like this. Pull the heels closer to your shoulders. Pull the mat back. And then push the mat away from you. Heels forward. Lift your hips up. And slowly lower the hips down. Once again, vertebra by vertebra. Take a breath in. And breath out. Back of your hands just resting on the floor. Shoulders nicely away from your ears. Here we go again. Once again, roll through your spine to lift your hips up. Really try to lengthen your hip flexors. And then turn your toes out. Turn your heels out. So feet are a little bit wider. Lift your hips up. Make sure the knees are aligned over the second, third toe. Now turn your heels in. Toes in, back to parallel, a little bit more narrow. Lift your hips up. Keep going. Toes out, heels out. Squeeze your glutes and lift your hips. Heels in, toes in, squeeze and lift. Toes out, heels out, squeeze and lift. Heels in, toes in, squeeze and lift. Couple more. Make sure the weight is even on your feet, so pressing the inner edge, outer edge down. Heels in, toes in, always lifting the inner arch. One more. Squeeze and lift. Last one, heels in, toes in, squeeze and lower down, vertebra by vertebra. Nice. And then you can bring the hands back onto your belly. Take a couple of inhales, exhales here. And then make a fist. You can bring the thumb in and then bend your elbows to the side, 90-degree angle. Bring the elbows down so the elbows are in line with your shoulders, fist pointing up to the ceiling. And you really want to press the elbows, the back of your shoulders down while you hug your ribs in and really activate your core set. Keep the collarbones wide open, neck really free, back of your head. You can gently press that down. Now you can bring your feet a little bit closer together, maybe not quite touching, but pretty close. Still parallel line, toes pointing forward. And slowly tuck the tailbone under. Roll your hips up to your bridge pose. Lengthen your hip flexors. Keep pressing the elbows, the back of your shoulders, the back of your head down. Shift the body weight onto your left and lift your right toes pointing up to the ceiling. Keep the hips as they are. Just lower the right leg in front of you. Maybe aiming to get the toes a little closer to the floor, but make sure you don't lower the right hip. Really strong left leg. Keep pressing the left heel down, the big toe mount down. Let's do 3 more. Really stabilize your hips. And last one. Beautiful. Bend your right knee. Again, check that the hips are square. Press the right heel down, the right big toe mount down. Shift the body weight onto your right. Extend your left toes up to the ceiling. And lower the left leg in front of you. Make sure the left hip doesn't lower. And lift. Arms are quite strong. And lift. Make sure the back of your shoulder stays on the floor. 2 more. And last one. Nice. Bend your left knee. Level your hips. And vertebra by vertebra, lower the hips down. Take a moment. And we go again, adjust if you need to. Bring the heels a little bit closer to your glutes. Again, arms are strong, pressing down, keeping the chest nicely open. Slowly lift your hips up to your bridge pose. Extend your right toes up to the ceiling. And now lower the hips. And lift. Lower. Check that the left knee is pointing over your second, third toe. And lift. 2 more. And up. Last one. And up. Bend your right knee. And we shift weight onto the right. Extend your left toes up to the ceiling. And lower. And lift. Lower. Hips same level. 2 more. And lift. Last one. And lift. Nice. Release the left foot down and slowly lower the hips down. And then you can release your arms. Let's do one more. I keep turning a little bit. So for the last one, you can open your arms out to the side. Palms are facing down. So you really get this support from the floor. But still, collarbones wide open, shoulders nicely down, away from your ears. Hug your ribs in. And let's go. Last one. Again, feet can be quite close together. Roll through your spine to lift your hips up. Extend your right toes pointing up to the ceiling. And now, like you are doing passe, bring the toes to your left knee, open the right knee to the side. And then extend, keep the little turnout up to the ceiling. Passe to the side, hips stay leveled. And point. Passe to the side.
And point. Can you open to the sides? Développé. Open to the sides. Really difficult to keep the hips in level. 2 more. And up. Last one. Up. Point up to the ceiling. Lower the right foot down. And slowly lower the hips. Should really feel that supporting leg, hamstring working. It's really difficult to keep the hips leveled here. One more. Roll through your spine. Hips up to your bridge. Body weight onto your right. Extend your left toes up to the ceiling. Passe to the side. Bring the toes in. And développé up. And to the side. And up. To the side. And up. Can we open the toes to the side? And back in. Open to the side. And back in. Keep pressing the hands down, shoulders down. And in. Open up to the ceiling. Lower the left leg down. And slowly roll your hips down. Beautiful. Hug your knees into your chest. Can rock and roll, little side to side. Side to side. Find your way up to seated. And then come down, lie on your belly. Open your right arm to the side, so the fingers are in line with your forehead. It is not too low, not too high. Palm is facing down. And then start to open the left shoulder and the left hip. You can bend the left knee back behind you. Bring the left foot down, left knee pointing up to the ceiling. If you feel like you can go a little further, you can also bend your right knee, lift your hips up and move your hips tiny bit more towards the center of your mat. Make sure the head is resting on the floor. And here, if you still feel like you want more, you can extend your left toes pointing up to the ceiling. Bring the left toes, the left ankle on top of your right knee and let the left knee open to the side. Take a couple of inhales and exhales here. Neck is fully relaxed. And really slowly release, lie back onto your belly. And to the other side. Open the left arm to the side again, fingers in line with your forehead. Open the right shoulder, the right hip. Bring the right knee back behind you, pointing up to the ceiling. Or bend both knees. Lift your hips up and move them a little more towards the center of your mat. You can also extend the right leg. Bend the knee, bring the ankle on top of your left knee and let the right knee open to the side. Relax the right shoulder also. And take a couple of inhales and exhales here. And slowly release this. Lie back onto your belly. Hands onto your shoulders. Help yourself up to your hands and your knees. Couple of cat cows and shoulder openings here as well. So spread the fingers wide. Lengthen the back of your head. Neck is always aligned with your spine. Now, start to extend the right knee back behind you. Try not to turn out this time. Rotate the inner thigh up to the ceiling. Really lower core in. Shift the body weight onto your right hand. Extend the left fingers in front of you. Just the
long line. Inhale here. Exhale, bring the elbow to your knee underneath you and really round your spine. Press the right hand and the left shin down, really rounding in. Inhale, lengthen, just a beautiful parallel line. Exhale, rounding in, knee in, elbow in, around your spine, tailbone under. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rounding in. Inhale, lengthen. Let's do one more. Exhale, really rounding. Keep pressing the left shin down. Also, inhale, lengthen. Stay here. Now turn your left palm facing out. Start to reach to the side and right back behind you. Bend your right knee and grab the right foot from the inside. Micro bend your right elbow a little. Squeeze the right elbow into your body like you really want to outer rotate the right shoulder. Then drop your chest just a little and start to kick your right shin back behind you. Shin back, toes up to the ceiling. Just keeping the back of your neck long again, hugging the right elbow in so that way you can really outer rotate the right shoulder as well. Nice. Release this. Extend your arm and your leg one more time. Hug the lower core in. Find the parallel line. This time, thumb pointing up to the ceiling. Start to open the left arm to the side. Bend your right knee and can you grab the outside, the outer edge of your right foot. Again, micro bend your right elbow, hug the elbow in, really outer rotate the shoulder, drop your chest just a little and start to kick the shin back behind you. Now feel the outer rotation for your left shoulder as well. Really pressing the shin back, even weight. Nice, release. One more time, just really find parallel line, navel in and up. Release the left hand down, right knee down. Move your hips a little side to side. Inhale gently, arch your spine, open your heart. Exhale, round, tailbone under. Inhale, melting, opening. Exhale, round. Come back into your neutral spine. Now extend the left leg back behind you, parallel to the floor. Turn the inner thigh up to the ceiling. Everything remains parallel. Reach your right fingers forward. Hug your belly in, ribs in. Inhale here, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to your knee underneath you. Really around your spine. Really press the right shin down. Round, around. Inhale, lengthen out. Keep reaching, lengthening. Exhale, around in. Keep it strong, the connection with the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Neck is long as well. Exhale, round. Really round your spine up to the ceiling. One more inhale, lengthen, stay here. Turn your palm facing out, thumb is pointing down. Start to open to the side, right back behind you. Bend your left knee and find the inner edge of your foot. Micro bend your left elbow, hug the elbow into your side body. Outer rotate the left shoulder. Drop your chest just a little and start to kick the left shin back behind you. Keep the body weight still on your left hand so we don't lean back too much. Try to keep the body weight even on your left hand, your right knee, your right shin. Nice. And release this. Find a parallel line. Navel in and up. And then keep the thumb pointing up to the ceiling to start to open your right arm to the side, right back behind you. Bend your left knee. Can you find the outer edge? Same thing. Left elbow into your side body. Drop your chest just a little and start to kick the shin back behind you. Now feel this outer rotation for your right shoulder as well. Really even weight, even reach, even grounding. Nice. Release, find a parallel line, level everything, reach out, and then release the hand down, knee down. Move your hips to side. Couple of cat-cows, soften to open your heart, and exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Nice. Now come to the back of your mat. So make sure you are sitting at the back of your mat. Sit on your heels. And send your fingers up to the ceiling. And then fold forward at your hips. Keep reaching your fingers forward. Hug your elbows in. Bring the chin down, chest down between your hands. Hips are still up off the floor. And then slide down all the way to your belly. Keep hugging the elbows in. Don't move your hands quite yet. You can activate your legs though. You can press the top of your feet down and turn the inner thighs up to the ceiling. So inner rotation for now. Using your back strength. Open your heart. And now open your hands. Elbows can be 90-degree angled. Bring the chest down, bend your knees. Start to lift your tailbone up to the ceiling. Keep the chest close to the floor when you press yourself back into your child's pose. And slowly roll up to your knee stand. Here, make sure the hip flexors are straight, tailbone is pointing down. Send your fingers up to the ceiling, bring your hands together, bend your elbows, thumbs behind your neck. Squeeze the elbows in, navel in, and just lift the chin away from your chest. Just opening the front side of your body, squeezing the elbows in, really keeping the lower back long. And release. Hips down to your heels. Reach your fingers forward back into your child's pose. Roll your spine up, vertebra by vertebra. Send your fingers up to the ceiling sideways. And exhale, hands together to your heart center. Inhale, send your fingers up to the ceiling, lengthen, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach a little further. Exhale, hug the elbows in, move forward, down into your belly in the end. Now you can straighten your elbows a little more, still keep them soft. Open your heart, add on a little more back bend. Lower your chest down, open your hands, bend your knees through your spine. Keep the chest close to the floor when you push yourself back into your child's pose. Roll up to your knees, lengthen your hip flexors. Send your fingers up to the ceiling, thumbs behind your head. Lengthen the lower back, open your heart. And then slowly, keeping this length in your lower back, you can start to open the upper back, middle back, lower back. Slowly, with the control, bring your spine upright, fingers up to the ceiling. Lean the hips down to your heels, child's pose. Roll through your spine. Inhale, send the fingers up to the ceiling. And exhale, hands together to your heart center. One more like this. Inhale. Exhale, lean forward. Inhale, keep reaching, lengthening the side bodies. Exhale, hug the elbows in. Roll through your spine to your belly. Start to lengthen a little more, a little more, a little more. Hips still on the floor, but you can come up a little higher as long as your shoulders are away from your ears through the length to lift. Lower your chest down, open your hands through your knees, through your spine, roll, push yourself back into your child's pose. Find your knees, stand really, lengthen your hip flexors, navel in and up, send your fingers up to the ceiling, thumbs behind your head. First, open your chest, maybe hands together to your heart center, upper back, middle back, lower back. Go as far, it's good for you. Today, hugging the elbows in. Slowly, with the same control, find your way up. Reach your fingers up to the ceiling. Lean the hips down onto your child's pose. Roll. Arms up overhead. And exhale, hands together to your heart center. Let's do one more, moving forward. Inhale. And exhale, lean forward. Inhale, keep reaching. And with the exhale, hug the elbows in. Dive forward. This time, maybe move your hands back a little more. And lift your hips and your thighs off the floor, up dog. Outer rotation for your shoulders, micro bend your elbows. Outer rotate your shoulders, hug the navel in and up. And then maybe turn your head over your right shoulder, over your left shoulder, moving your hips little side to side, shifting the weight little side to side if that feels okay. On your lower back. If not, don't do it. Navel in and up. Use your core and start to lift your hips up to your down dog. Adjust as you need to. If you're really flexy here, make sure we don't arch the ribs too much. Keep hanging down here. So then if you have that flexibility, hug your ribs in. Just create a long line from your fingertips up to your sit bones, really lengthening. Hugging the ribs in while lengthening the lower back, pressing the weight back. Really creating as much space as possible between your fingers and your sit bones. Soften your knees, look forward, walk your feet forward, behind your hands. Take a halfway lift, exhale lower. And inhale, roll up to standing vertebra by vertebra, hit up the really last. Rotate the shoulders down and back. Now bring your toes together, heels together, and bend your knees to your Utkatasana, chair pose. Make sure the weight is on your heels. You can see your toes if you look down. Lift from the lower core. Really important if you tend to overarch the lower back. Lift from the lower core, maybe even thinking like tucking the tailbone under, chest a little bit here, shoulders away from your ears. And now start to lift your heels high up. Keep pressing the ankles together, a little bit more weight to the inside. Big toe mount, second toe mount. Really keep the ankles together. Keep squeezing the ankles together, heels high up, and really slowly start to sit the hips down onto your heels. Try to keep the heels high up if possible. When you get down here also, heels together, ankles together. Beautiful. And then really slowly lower your hips all the way down. Let's work on the core a little more. Playing around with low boat, high boat, and different variations. So first of all, just bring the body weight back. So you balance on your sit bones, lift your shins parallel to the floor. Really try to open your chest, hugging your ribs in. Broaden your collarbones. Hands together to your heart center. Bring your left toes down really lightly. Extend your right leg. You can turn out a little if that's natural for you. And then tuck the tailbone under. Lower your lower back down. Slowly lift up. Change your legs. Right toes light on the floor. Tailbone under. Shoulders open. Shoulder blades are still hovering off the floor when you get down. Slowly bring back up. Change your legs. Tailbone under. Sacrum lower back down. Lower strips can be on the floor, but shoulder blades off the floor. And slowly make your way up. Change your legs. Go really slowly. Lower or slower than you want.
and chains. Slowly. Lower back down. Up. You can take a little twist. Reach over your right toes. And change your legs. Hands together to your heart center. Lower down. Up. Reach past your left calf. And chains. Let's do 2 more. Reach over to your right. Open your chest. And switch. 1 last. And chains. Nice. You can lower the toes down for a second. And we're gonna do all that with both legs straight, or feel free to bend as well, but toes hovering off the floor. Keep it bent or extend. Tailbone under, low boat. Bring it up, twist over to your right. Tailbone under, low boat. Heels, shoulders, shoulder blades hovering off the floor. Twist over to your left. Low to the high. And twist. Always think like you want to lift up from your sternum when you twist. Beautiful. Now when you come up, you can lift your right leg a little higher than left. And twist. Legs together. When you lower down. Up over to your left. And tailbone under. Up over to your right. And down. Up, left a little higher. Beautiful. Can we do 1 more? I'm shaking already. Reach. Just try to make it look effortless. Nice. The dancer thing. Make it look effortless no matter how it feels. But sometimes it makes it easier. I promise. It makes it easier when you make it look effortless. You fake it to yourself and you will find that certain ease. I think a little easier. Nice. Can we do 1 more? Always, if you feel like you start to arch your lower back, then back off. Take the version before or bring your toes down. The form is always more important. So this is gonna be a little dancer thingy as well. Find your high boat, turn out from your hips. Can you stay here when you bend your right knee to the side? Extend it to your side. Bend. Extend up, keep the turnout to the side. And extend. So knees pointing to the side all the time, like a devil bear to the side. And up. 1 more to the side. And up. Legs together. Point your left knee to the side. Point your toes. Extend up diagonally. And to the side. Nice. And up. Broaden your collarbones. Lift your sternum up. Sternum up. To the side. Hard to talk. 1 last. Open. Together. And release. Nice. Rotate the shoulders a couple of times. And then come down, lie on your belly again. Work on the posterior chain next. So lie on your belly and find a Sphinx pose. So bring the elbows right under your shoulders and gently pull the mat back with your elbows, shoulders back, chest forward. No need to think of coming really high up. More think of really shoulders back, chest forward, like you want to stretch your belly. At the same time, you really want to lift the navel in and up, belly button off the floor. Keep the legs active for this one today. So keep pressing the top of your feet down, shoulders away from your ears. And here,
we try to work on the legs a little more. If you feel a lot of pressure on your lower back, just keep the knees on the floor and work on bending your knees. But if possible, keep pressing the top of your left foot down, hover the right leg off the floor just a little, navel in and up, and then bend your right knee. Bring the heel in and extend. And try not to turn out too much now. Try to keep the knee in line with your hip. Navel in and up. Shoulders back and down. Back of your head. Lengthening. Long neck. Let's do one more. Extend and lower down. Nice. Again, shoulders back, chest forward. Lift your belly button a little higher up to your spine. Press the top of your right foot down. Lift the left leg off the floor so the hip stays on the floor. And bend your left knee. And extend. Make sure the shoulders are still down. And bend. And lengthen. Keep going, right leg active as well. Three more. And lengthen. Bend. Lengthen. One last. Lengthen. Nice. Release the left leg down. Bring the hands onto your shoulders and push yourself to your child's pose for a moment to release the lower back a little. And then come back, lying on your belly. This time, extend your fingers in front of you. Bring the hands together. And then we're gonna bend the elbows in again. So bring the elbows a little closer together. Bend the elbows, bring the thumbs behind your head. Forehead can be on the floor to start with. Activate your legs. Legs are about hip distance apart. Turn your inner thighs up to the ceiling. Press the top of your feet down. Again, try to lift your belly button off the floor. Now start to lift your right leg up. Keep the hip on the floor though. And then start to lift your chin away from the chest. Open the upper back. Keep the right leg floating. Can you bend the right knee a little? Nice. Really difficult. Keep the elbows in. Don't let them open. And release the forehead. The right leg down. Again, squeeze the elbows in. Navel in and up. Float the left leg off the floor. Now start to lift your chin up. Look forward. Start to bend your left knee in. Lift a little higher. Lift the thigh a little higher behind you. Really working your posterior chain. Beautiful. Release your forehead down. Legs active still. Let's do one more round, right and left. Navel in and up. Lift the right leg off the floor. Keep the hip on the floor. Start to lift your head up. Try to look forward. Squeeze the elbows in. Start to bend your right knee. Lift. Squeeze. And release your forehead down. One last to the left. Navel in and up once again. Lift the left leg off the floor. Hip on the floor. Start to lift your chin up. Look forward. Squeeze the elbows in. Start to bend your left knee back behind you. Squeeze and lift. Doesn't look like a lot, but feels like tons. Beautiful. And release. Hands onto your shoulders. Push yourself back into your child's pose. Move your hips little side to side. Couple more bow poses to go. Reach your fingers forward. Come back, lying on your belly. feet are hip distance apart and your hands are shoulder distance apart. You can activate your legs, palms facing each other's. Now reach out to lift your arms and your legs off the floor. Shoulders away from your ears. Try to float your thighs off the floor. Come up a little higher. Thumbs are pointing up to the ceiling all the time. So start to open your arms out to the side. Start to reach back, lifting the upper body a little higher. Start to bend your knees back behind you. Flex your ankles. Reach back. Lift your thighs off the floor. Can you find your inner ankles? If that's possible for you, grab your inner ankles and really kick your heels back, heels back, heels back, heels back. Maybe you are able to get your thighs down to the floor. And then you can release the left ankle. Right side remains the same. Point your left toes. And then you can bring the left fingers down for a little support. Now, bring the right toes to your right elbow and start to kick back with your right toes. Remain upright and then maybe hook your fingers, left elbow pointing up to the ceiling, and then activate the left leg as well. Nice. Release. Find the inner ankle of your right. Keep kicking back. Then you can bend your left. Maybe find the inner ankle of your left as well. Nice. Keep kicking back with your left so you can release the right. Right fingers down. Activate the right leg. Bend your left knee a little more. Get the toes to your elbow crease. Keep kicking back with your toes so you stay upright. Hook your fingers. Activate the right leg as well. Keep lifting. Beautiful. And then release the right fingers down. Release the left leg down. Slowly, just lower your chest down. And press your hips back into your child's pose once again. Always mindful with your shoulders here. We're gonna do bow, floor bow, one more time. So come down, line on your belly. Bend your knees, and this time, if possible for you, grab from the inside, bring the thumb between your big toe and the second toe. So grab from the inside. And start to kick your toes up, thighs lift off the floor. And once again, it's the strength of your kick that will bring your body upright. And here, start to bend your right elbow down to the side. Can you make your right elbow pointing forward? Bring the toes a little closer to your shoulder. Same, left elbow pointing down and forward. So your elbows are pointing forward. In the end, you can bring the toes a little closer to the back of your head. Squeeze the knees in. Beautiful. And how about releasing here one at a time? One at a time. Can you keep the thighs floating off the floor? Release. Press yourself back into your child's pose. Do what you need to release the lower back. Really pressing the hips down, releasing the lower back. And then slowly roll up vertebra by vertebra. Lie on your back for halasana. Maybe the ear pressure pose, just to round the spine a little. Bring the weight onto the shoulders to end the class with. So here, extend your toes pointing up to the ceiling. Arms down by your side, and then start to lift your hips up. Bring the toes over your head. And here the main thing is that you always have a little space
between your chin and your chest. So don't tuck the chin in. Just gently press the back of your head down. You can always try to walk the shoulders a little closer together. Maybe interlace the fingers. Keep pressing the pinky toe side down. Pinky finger side down. And make sure you don't lift the elbows off the floor. I was used to do this a lot. So press the elbows down. Don't hyperextend. That will also help you to keep the weight on the shoulders. Press the pinky finger side, elbows, shoulders down. And little space between your chin and your chest. If you want to release your hands and bend the elbows, bring the hands to your lower back, and then start to bend your knees to bring the knees over your ears so you can really press in with your knees, ear pressure pose to round a little more. So really press in with your knees, aim to get the knees, shins down. And then really slowly extend your legs. Support with your hands if you need to. And slowly lower your hips down, vertebra by vertebra. And keep the knees bent for a moment here. Swing, sway a little side to side, side to side. And if there is any twist or anything you feel like you still need here, do you? Maybe happy baby. It's my favorite thing to finish the class with. So you can grab the outer edges of your feet or your big toes with your peace fingers. Keep the elbows inside of the knees. And then start to press the knees a little closer to the floor. Soles of your feet pointing up to the ceiling. You can just rock and roll a little side to side. If you have a lot of outer rotation, you might want to hug the knees in to your shoulders and then press the knees a little close to the floor. It's really difficult for me. I want to just outer rotate, but it's also if you just want to keep it easy. Or all the dancers out there, maybe extending one, maybe extending both. And then slowly, once you're ready, release into your final Savasana, where I'm gonna leave you once again for you to take your time in the final Savasana. So take your time in the final Savasana and say thank you to yourself before leaving your practice, before leaving your mat as usual. Hope you enjoyed the practice. Namaste.